Yeah, good morning and welcome to my stream. Let me quickly check my sound. Okay, seems all right. Good. Then welcome to day 9 of Advents of Code. Today's task is named Movie Theater. And yeah, I'm gonna quickly read the description. You slide down the fire pole in the corner of the playground and land in the North Pole Base Movie Theater. The movie theater has a big tile floor with an interesting pattern. Elves here are redecorating the theater by switching out some of the square tiles in the big grid they form. Some of the tiles are red. The elves would like to find the largest rectangle that uses red tiles for 2 of its opposite corners. They even have a list of where the red tiles are located in the grid, your puzzle input. For example, here we have the coordinates in 2D, not in 3D like yesterday. Showing red tiles as hashtag and other tiles as dot, the above arrangement of red tiles would look like this. This is just graphical. This won't be anything. This won't be in our test. You can choose any 2 red tiles as the opposite corners of your rectangle. Your goal is to find the largest rectangle possible. For example, you could make a rectangle shown as 0 with an area of 24 between 25 and 97. That would be this one. Or you could make a rectangle with area 35 between 7.1 and 11.7. This one, you could even make a thin rectangle with an area of only 6 between 7 and 3. That would only be this one. Ultimately, the largest rectangle you can make in this example has area 50. One way to do this is between 2.5 and 11.1. Using 2 red tiles as opposite corners, what is the largest area of any rectangle you can make? So, to get the area here, we simply have to find the difference between the 2 coordinates. So here, for example, here, the difference would be 5. This position 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, the difference would be 5. So, 5 plus 1. Okay. And here the difference would be 0. So we always have to add a 1 to the difference we find. So, and then multiply them by one another to get the area. And so it's simply the absolute value of the difference. And the absolute value of the difference of the of x and the absolute difference of the values of y, and that plus 1 and then multiplied by one another is the area. And I think we should just do it as simple as that, exactly like we did yesterday. Simply make a struct with x and y, and then simply calculate the area they spun up. Okay, I'm quickly making a note. So let's hop over to Visual Studio Code, where today I already prepared something. So what I forgot is to add day 9 here to our main. This inline macro, no, that's not what I wanted. One needs to be able to write. It's also not what I want. I want the import. Like so. Okay. So what I prepared is we have a normal AOC day data struct, which is just used to execute the tests and or to execute the data that is put in. We are here. We are the resources. And I copied over the input data for today. And I also prepared a test with the test input that was shown in the example. And the largest area we have to find is not 40 but 50. I forgot to copy that over. Yeah, so that would be it. Then let's make a struct here. Vec is already used. Let's simply call it vector. Or chord 2D. And let's use default. I forgot how it was named. There was a way to define a default constructor. A default constructor. Yeah, so what we want is an x of num and y of num. But they actually don't have to be nums, they can simply be sizes. And there's no default, no. I have to derive the default. That's what it was. Okay, so then let's process our input. We could simply copy it from yesterday, but that would be boring. So we split our input on the line breaks, and then we map those lines, and then we split the lines on the commenter, and then we collect this, or can we say first and last? No. Okay, then we have to collect this as a vector of string slices, and this long won't be enough, so semicolon here. And then this is the coordinates, and then we can say chord to the default. The default is an empty constructor. Okay, that's of course not what we want. How can default even be empty? That doesn't really make sense to me. But yeah, it is empty. Interesting. It probably uses the default values for x and y. So then let's simply make a constructor which takes in x usize and y usize, returns a self, and then we say self of x and y. Exactly. Sure. It doesn't make sense to make that public. So now we can say new and say chord at 0 and chord at 1. And of course we have to put a 0 here, and this is our grid. It's a problem here. Of course, we simply put in string slices. That's of course not okay. We have to say parse, and then say that we want to parse it to use size. I think we don't even have to define it here because it's obvious for the compiler, as the constructor already says what type we want here. Yeah, but grid is a bad name. I think we should name it chords, because it isn't a grid, it's just the red tiles. I think that's the best name. And then vec of chord 2D. Okay, now we have our red tiles. And now we simply have to do what we did yesterday already, which is we simply have to calculate all the different distances, or in our case, we have to calculate not the distances, but the area of the 2 points spin up. Yeah, so yesterday we did it like this, and we use hash set. Let's simply do that again. So do we hash set? Yeah, I think it was a vector of hash sets. Let's use a vector as where we only need the area, so there's actually no need for anything more. So let's use the vec macro, and then let's say for start in red tiles and for end in red tiles. And we actually don't even need to check that we don't duplicate anything, because it doesn't matter in our case. And we don't even really need a vec here. We could also, yeah, just use a hash set and then get the max value in the end. Doesn't really matter here. So how do we calculate the area? We say start x minus end x, and then we have to first use them as nums, and then take the absolute value of that and multiply that by the same, but instead of x we use y. And then we say areas push. No, not push, because we have a hash set now. That would be insert in this case. Then we have to declare this as mutable. And here, of course, we have to say iter, so that we can say iter here as well. And then we have no problem with ownership. And then in the end, we simply take the max value here. And what's the problem? We of course have to say unwrap, because we know there's going to be a value. And now it's a reference, so we can simply dereference, and then this is fine. And if we want test A, we still get an error. What's the error? 36 instead of 50. We forgot to add the 1 here. That's of course important, that we add a 1. And then we can run the test again, and it's finishing correctly. Then let's go to the main and run this. Take that, and let's go over to AOC. And that's the correct answer. So now at this point I started part 2, and part 2 was extremely hard. On Reddit I saw that I wasn't the only person who felt so. And yeah, I didn't come up with a solution I liked in time. And so I cut that part out, because it's just, me struggling with the solution. Maybe I will upload the part B sometime later, but I wouldn't count on it. Yeah, but I would end it here. And yeah, maybe I see you tomorrow in the stream. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.